If our Milky Way galaxy was dropped into the dead center of the Buddhist void, we wouldn't have even known other galaxies existed until the 1960s. When you look up at the night sky right now, you see thousands of stars. But if you lived inside this void, you would look up into a suffocating, absolute blackness. This is the great nothing. It is not a black hole. It is not a wormhole. It is a massive, dead zone in our universe. It's 700 million light years away, and in a space that should hold thousands of galaxies, scientists have only found 60. So, where did the rest of them go? The answers are honestly terrifying. They give us a chilling look at how our universe is eventually going to die. Calling the Buddhist void big is a joke. It is a 330 million light years across. To put that in perspective, the distance to our closest neighbor, the Andromeda galaxy, is less than 1% of that. A space this massive should be packed with at least 2,000 galaxies, but there are only 60. That means nearly 2,000 galaxies are just missing. The few that did survive are huddled together in a weird tube-like structure right through the middle of the darkness. It's like a thin thread of light hanging in a massive ocean of black water. The more astronomers stare into this hole, the creepier it gets. So, how does a literal hole taking up almost a third of the percentage of the entire universe actually form? The main theory is that the universe looks a lot like a giant spider web. You have massive strings of galaxies, and in between those strings, you have dark, empty pockets. Right after the Big Bang, gravity started pulling matter together to build galaxies. But as matter got pulled into those bright strings, it left behind empty zones. Over billions of years, scientists think the Buddhist void formed when smaller empty zones smashed together, like tiny soap bubbles merging to create one massive, terrifying bubble of nothing. And those 60 surviving galaxies, they're just the leftover debris out in the middle. But it gets worse. This giant bubble isn't just sitting there. Inside this void, the most mysterious force in the universe is completely out of control. Dark energy. Dark energy is the invisible force tearing our universe apart. Everywhere else in space, there is a tug of war. Gravity tries to pull galaxies together, while dark energy tries to push them apart. But inside the Buddhist void, there's basically no gravity, because there's almost no matter. Dark energy has no competition here. Because of this, the actual fabric of space inside the void is expanding faster than the space around our own planet. The void is actively growing. And this shows us our future. If dark energy keeps winning, eventually the entire universe will be pushed so far apart that everywhere will look exactly like the Great Nothing, which is freezing, dark, and completely empty. But the bubble theory has a major flaw. The math doesn't entirely add up. Our universe is 13.8 billion years old, and according to our current models, there simply hasn't been enough time for a void this massive to form naturally. It is a glitch in the system. This has forced scientists to ask some uncomfortable question. Like, what if dark energy isn't the same everywhere? What if it's somehow supercharged inside this specific region, blasting matter away faster than normal? The fact that astrophysicists are even considering this shows just how much this void breaks our understanding of physics. And that brings us to the most unsettling theory of all. What if the great nothing wasn't made by nature? What if it was dug out? If an alien civilization reached Type 3 on Kardashev scale, they wouldn't just be flying spaceships. They would be harvesting the energy of entire galaxies. They would drain billions of stars to fuel their empire. If a civilization like that was moving through the universe, what would they leave behind? They wouldn't leave ruins. They would leave a 330 million light-year dead zone. Now, there is zero scientific proof of this. But the fact that a hole this big exists makes you wonder. It feels unnatural. It makes you think that maybe this void wasn't worn. Maybe was made. The Buddhist void isn't just empty space. It is a giant warning sign. Whether it was carved out by brutal laws of physics or something we can't even comprehend, it forces us to realize just how small we are. It is a silent, terrifying reminder of our fragile place in the dark web of the universe.